thank you. And yeah, in the background, there's no filters. I guess we're just gonna start now. Can I see the thanks? And just a quick note, if you haven't already, please just look to our social medias and we're gonna officially kick off our launch night right now. So just before the introduction, I'm just gonna quickly go through
guys, can you
what's
hear
gonna
me?
happen for
Just
tonight.
checking.
So the first one, definitely, I'm gonna introduce the MSA program as a student lead for this year. I'm James, by the way, as you can see. And then the second one will be introducing our MSPs, Microsoft Learn Ambassadors, Microsoft Student Partners and Volunteers, which you can see with the MSP tag on it. And then the third one will be introducing our MSA 2022 phases. And then in the fourth one will be, I will invite a guy to introduce his experience from last year's MSA program. And then I would like our tech lead to introduce our upcoming events. And finally, just explore together for some practice, because you will see within half an hour. So if there's no other things, I will just quickly start it. And just before it, please mute yourself and turn off your camera just in case the server, server breakdown or something. But it's gonna be a little bit laggy if you keep some noise or do something. Now let's just start going to the MSA program. So what is MSA program? What is the main point of it? So it's basically solving this problem. Now you don't have much experience to get a job, but you actually the job need your experience to get it. So you might often find you're stuck in the infinite loop and just never ending. And MSA program, Microsoft Student Accelerator, is designed to solve this exact problem. Our mission is to bridging those gaps between the workspace also and the education, which is the universities and the actual industry focus side. So that's why we created the program back in, I think, 2014. And it was a long time ago, and we received a lot of people, a lot of participants, and we achieved a lot of great results. And our mission never changed. It just bridging those gaps between the education and the workspace. And as you can see in this slide, there was over 5,600 students actually trained since 2016, and more than 360 of them got given a work placement, and they're really valuable, and that's all come from all those companies, as you can see on the right-hand side, from Datacom, Coda, Baker, and actually one of our MSPs is from one of the companies and got beneficial from this program. And that's Kenny. And other than that, as you can see more on the data side, 17.6% receive full-time offers out of the 660 plus students. That's really amazing result, and we aim to get it higher this year. And last year in 2021, we got out of 900 plus students trained, and also 20 more work placement given. So you can see that kind of phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3, phase 4 kind of thing going on, which I will introduce in the next session. And just before that, I will introduce our Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors, which is MSPs and Microsoft Student Partners. And you can see Akshara, Melo, this all the people. And on the left-hand side is from 2021. And since this year, all the COVID situation and lockdown, we can't really have one offline, so we made an online one, and you can see all those happy faces. And I'll just quickly skip this one because someone might be ashamed. But next slide, I'll just probably introduce the timeline for this year. So for this year, we're starting off from April to June. It's our phase 1 for this year. This one is going to be slightly different from last year if you participate in 2021. This year is the Microsoft Learn Challenge. It will have the Microsoft Learn itself, as well as some workshop and assignments provided by our MSPs. So all those people from our team will help you on doing those Microsoft Learn modules, and also they will also provide some small assignment for you to win some practice. And go to July to August, it's gonna our phase 2, which is the basic training phase. So that one will be just some simple projects for you to do, and this will involve in any of the 2 fields in data science, front-end and back-end. Those fields is really up to you to choose, and whichever things your favorite. And this phase is really to let you gain your interest in those different different programs. And those different programs are really helpful. And those actual few data science front-end and back-end, from my perspective, is also really, really helpful, whatever you do. And this phase, as I said, is really to gain your interest. And coming to the next phase, which is phase 3 from August to September, that's the phase where you actually put your interest in. So for example, if I'm interested in data science, I would just go for the data science kind of path and then learn more in-depth data science stuff, such as like NLP, natural language processing, or more advanced AI models in it. So that's really helpful stuff for you to do in phase 3. And go to after the phase 3, which is October and January. That will be the work placement, soft skill training, and also the offer day. So that's where you actually pitch to the employers and get them some really insightful stuff. So that's basically the overview of our 2022 phases. And for more detailed introductions, I will just do it in the next few slides. So for the first one, Microsoft Learns, as you might see, it's going to be what happened in phase 1. And Microsoft Learn is really good platform for you to have all those different informations and technologies. As you can see on this slide, there's around 10 modules out here across from data science, AI, from GitHub to even C# coding, web applications. Those are really, really good and really helpful for your learning. And those content within each module is also really, really helpful based on everyone's experience. And one thing we found from last year's Microsoft Learn is that people just spam, skip, continue without actually looking into the content. So this year is going to be slightly different. As we aim to let them actually learn those things out of Microsoft Learns. So that's why we're providing some workshops and assignments. Those assignments are optional, but it'll be good to complete. And this is really let you to learn those Microsoft Learn contents, and those are really beneficial for everyone. And more detail into the technical side. So what kind of technology we're going to use across the whole year. So it includes a workshop series based on the MS Learn, as I said before. And those MS Learns, Microsoft Learns, have different technology like Python, GitHub. This one is the Azure Web App, I believe, and that's the Azure Lab. Also the Azure SQL, all those cloud platform, also some web technology like React and TypeScript, JavaScript, C#, some database APIs. That's all the things you can have a chance to learn. And it's really up to you to see which part of this will be interested for you. So next, I will just go a brief introduction of each phase. So for phase 1, it's the Microsoft Learn Challenge, we call it like that. And it's really from April to June, we're gonna let you guys to complete those MS Learns with a certain number of points. And that point will be introduced by our tech lead later on. And then the second point of this phase is to earn Microsoft certificates. And those certificates are given to someone who got really high marks out of those assignments and who complete those assignments, and whoever got those a lot of experience in those Microsoft Learns. And the third one will be attend 2-hour workshops and learn those awesome stuff out of those different workshops that different MSP provided. So those workshops are really beneficial, and that's a workshop series, which I believe our tech lead Roger is going to introduce that later. And then the very last point of our phase 1 is to complete those optional assignments to get those swag and prizes. And those swag and prizes will be really good and really cool. And I personally got one, not here, but you'll see very soon at the very end of this slide. And the phase 2, you might be wondering what on earth is phase 2. So phase 2 is basically to get you guys a basic experience of those 3 main areas that we selected: data science, front-end, and back-end. So those areas are really helpful for any of the people who are involved in the tech field. And those we decided to let you guys to choose any 2 of those 3 fields to complete the project. And don't worry if you have no idea about those fields. Those projects, there's going to be some scaffolded code within each project, and it's going to be taught by our MSPs during June to August. So it'll be really good if you participate into the assignment and go into those workshops. But if you really can't make it because of exam clash or test clash, we also provide the recordings on YouTube, so you can have a look. And also definitely hang on Discord or our social medias if you got any questions and any helps. And I believe our MSPs will definitely love to have that answer for you. And speaking of the very third phase, which is the advanced training. So for the third phase is going from August to September, and that's gonna be some more in-depth learning into whichever area you like. So those areas, data science, front end and back end are quite separate, quite different. So it's really the time for you to choose whichever area that you really like. For me, I chose front end. So if I choose front end, I will there will be some MSPs who's really good at front end and teach you more in depth React and also Redux if some of you guys heard, and also some like different UI libraries and designs. Also those commercial like Tailwind CSS, those are really helpful contents, and there will also be a lot of workshop on different areas provided by our MSPs. And those the phase two is really the time for you to know what's the reality. So just an example in data science, you might think data science is super cool. It involves AI and machine learning, but in reality, in the industrial phase, it might just be some not boring, but just some little bit tedious data cleanings, data training, data extraction process. And those process is the reality, but it's not what we learn from the education from the universities. So phase three is actually focusing on those reality side instead of those fun part. But after you complete those advanced training phase three, you're gonna be invited. Oof, I think I got it wrong on the thing. You will be invited to the employer night. So the employer night is really for you to meet those employers and form a team of three to pitch to those employers of your whatever ideas you have. So for example, if you're good at data science and you pitch to an employer in the data science field, say, okay, I trained this machine learning model during this year, and that's the result we got, and that looks good, that looks bad, and that's the challenges we got, and that's really where the employers got inside and really likes you. So and definitely after that employer night, there will be the final offer from those employers, and that will be around October to November-ish. Still decided because of the situation, but that's the rough date. So hopefully you got some ideas on what different phases we got for 2022 and what each phase actually is. So if you can't really remember, after the slide finish, at the bottom of the gather town, there will also be those slides if you press X on it. So hopefully you will remember it. And next, let's just go to the more information side. If you really need more information than what I introduced, please go to the website, aka.nzmsa website. And that's really our main website and got all those detailed content within it. So definitely have a look and don't forget to like our social medias, all those things. Our QR code doesn't work, sadly. But if you copy that website in the chat, yeah, you can just reach out to them. And I will just next, well, I'll introduce Ken, who's MSP this year, to introduce his experience from last year. So Ken, yeah.
Hello, guys and girls. My name is Ken, and I was a past student last year. So next slide. Right, so I first started MSA in the general stream. I've didn't know much about TypeScript, so I initially struggled learning TypeScript for MSA. And eventually I improved over time. MSA was a good starting point. So I used my improved knowledge to make my own personal site. So going into data stream, I did data stream last year because I'm interested in what makes applications smart, like for example, Google Assistant, right? So there was very little beginner-friendly tutorials outside that could like help me get started, but the MSA offered one of the best beginner-friendly hands-on tutorials that can accelerate my learning about the data science and machine learning and all. And now I want to give back to the community. So I'm now a MSP, and I want to help you guys make your learning experience better. And for those who are who were my partners for the MSA soft skills event and for the employee evening, shout out to all of you. You are all awesome. And now I will pass this slide to Roger, who will be talking about the upcoming events in detail. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Kenny. And Roger.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
Sweet. So, James, if I can just ask you to jump through a couple of slides. Go to slide 18,
Yep.
please.
This upcoming event.
Yeah, upcoming
How about
events.
you share it? Could you share it, maybe?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, thank you.
Can everyone see that okay?
Yep.
Sweet. So, the upcoming MS Learn workshops. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Roger. James has asked me to sort of head up and handle the delivery in terms of our software content. So, with MS Learn in Phase 1 this year, essentially, last year, the Azure Fundamentals, I think it's the AZ900, wasn't particularly useful for students when they started going into Phase 2, especially with the content difference. So what we've done this year is we've sort of gone through MS Learn and found a bunch of modules that'd be really helpful for building a technical foundation running into Phase 2 and essentially more hands-on development. So a lot of this is fundamental foundational skills, we believe, in terms of working in the industry. So as James mentioned earlier, stuff like Git, GitHub, HTML, JavaScript, some CSS work, TypeScript, and the list goes on. So long story short, we compiled a list of what we think are the fundamentals for all three, took the XP numbers, added them up, and turns out that's about 34,000. Now, if you're a little more experienced, obviously you don't have to stick to these modules. Our only requirement is you hit that 34,000 XP threshold, and we will have a submission form open sometime closer towards the end and deadline date for Phase 1, for those who want to move on to Phase 2. In terms of these modules, the issue with MS Learn, we feel, in terms of the knowledge checks here, is essentially it's not hands-on enough. It's very good theoretically. It sort of, gives you the material to lead into it. But you always learn better by doing, I feel. So we've gone and built essentially a workshop for each of the modules we've recommended. These workshops are designed to be pretty lightweight and essentially hands-off on our side. So everything's documented step by step. There's little tasks, hints, and of course, if you ever get stuck, feel free to message us on the Discord. At least one of us will be awake, I hope. Yeah, that's about the gist of it. And of course, if you're looking for the link, our repo for Phase 1 is now open. Not sure if that QR code works, so I'm just going to be friendly and link that for you guys. And I think there'll be time for questions at the end. So check out that GitHub, and here are some handy links for how to get to us. We've got our GitHub there, there's the Discord, our website, obviously our Facebook page. And now it'll be, I guess, question time. I guess any of the MSPs can answer. There's a free spot up on the dais where James is. So average workload, Tyler. Average workload is, I think we worked it out to be about 2 hours each week. But of course, with the MS Learn stuff, you can skim it pretty quick. So those times aren't exactly accurate. So if you read slow, it'll take you about 2 hours. And it's going to run for roughly 10 weeks overall. Any other questions? Repo link. Yep. That's the repo link. I'm sure someone can. Thanks, CZ. Nope, no cost. MS Learn is free. And all the tooling is free, so we've given you some links. Jonah, work placement chances. Pretty good. Phase 2 is actually pretty hard, so it really sort of tests out your skills, and we've got plenty of employers looking for work, thanks to, closed borders and a job shortage. Me or Ken, Serena? For me, when I was doing it, I did it in a year where Phase 2 was ridiculously hard, like, lots and lots of content. And I did think I went a little overboard with what I chose to do for... We came up with something called advanced features when I was doing it, and they were pretty hard to implement. Because you had to do it basically across the board, right? Like, you had to do the back end and the front end. So this year we're scaling that back a bit. You do the advanced stuff for an area, not all of them. So in terms of the challenges, we'll challenge you differently in each phase. I think phase 1 is mostly content building, seeing if you can stick it through. Phase 2 is going to be a lot more hands-on work, see how you go, and then phase 3 is, really passionate, get into it and see how you can build something cool. Due date for phase 1 is, I believe, June 17th. Can someone correct me on that if I'm wrong? And text, yes, these are the normal modules in the MSA program. In MS Learn. So stuff like that. You don't have to do the ones we've set out. If, you're comfortable with these languages already, pick something more complex, something you're interested in. The idea is to just get people learning. Do you know the time schedule? Pretty much on your schedule. It's on your schedule. All you have to do is pass 34,000 experience points on MS Learn by June 17th. We do recommend you do it, on a weekly basis, put a bit of work towards it, because it is a lot of content to try to do in a short amount of time. Izzy, how does experience points work? So each module in MS Learn has experience points attached to it, and when you complete it, you get those experience points for your MS Learn profile, which is free to sign up for. So all you have to do is pass that 34,000 threshold by doing modules, essentially, over the course of the next 10 weeks. So Tyler, if you head to the GitHub repo, we've got essentially links. Everything's hyperlinked through there for what we recommend. Anonymous, the MS exams. Yeah, we've cut those out this time because they're a little... they're not quite what we want in terms of giving you the correct foundation for phase 2. Drew, if that's correct. In terms of help you need, the Discord's probably the best place. Enough people are checking out. Gina, start date is now. Repository's live, just hop on. Tony, in terms of hours, if you are a slow reader and you read word for word on MS Learn, I think we added up to about 40 hours over the course of 10 weeks. So again, roughly 2 hours each week, I think, is what it comes out to. My numbers might be wrong there. Yeah, it might be 20-ish hours is closer, Kenny. Thanks for that. Tyler, for the MS Learn accounts, at the end, closer to June, we're going to open up a form, and you're going to post essentially your profile link and a screenshot, as well as your email, and we'll use that to verify that, hey, you have actually done it. So it doesn't really matter what account you pick. Kev, I'm not too sure where that number comes from. And James has run off to an exam, so if someone can find that number for me, that would be nice. Thanks. Lana, yes, that is correct. Sweet. Any more questions, guys? Workload for phase 2 and 3. I'm honestly going to go with about the same as phase 1 this time around. We've made phase 1 a bit tougher in terms of total workload. Maria, so as you finish MS Learn, because you have a profile and you've logged in, Microsoft logs some experience points against your account. So that will be how you know if you've done it. It will give you a nice little tick and show you you've completed it. Fandom, there is no tech requirement to do it, so anyone can do MSA. Sweet. Richard, yeah, pretty much. We've got some recommended modules on the GitHub, so if you go check that out, that'll help you along. Maria, if you want to figure out where to make the account, just head over to the GitHub repository. We've got everything there that you'll need. Thanks, April. Anonymous, we're going to open up a form later on for you to submit closer towards the deadline. Probably June-ish. Sweet. I think if I let this run any further on questions, we're going to run out of time for the quiz. So, Nick, are you here?
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Do you want to run them through the quizzes?
Sure thing.
Sweet. Cheers. I'll hop out and keep answering questions as you go in the chat. Thanks, guys. Look, that's pretty much me. I won't be around for the quizzes, but there are plenty of MSPs here who can help you, such as Kenny, Nick, and CZ. And of course, Ken's here as well. There's a few of us around. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy doing MSA Phase 1.
Cool. Thanks, Roger. Can you guys see and hear, by the way? Awesome. So, time for some prizes. All right, now we've got a few rooms set up around the main room here. So if you guys just go and follow those arrows into those rooms, you'll be able to see some little stands where you can do a little quiz. Now, I've got to say, some of the questions can be a little hard, but don't worry, you have little lifelines and you can also search the internet. And by about 7 o'clock, we'll announce the top 5, and the top 5 people will get some prizes. So head on through to those rooms, and good luck. Alrighty, team. Quick mic check and video check. Can you guys see and hear me? Fantastic. So, the winners of our quiz. We've been keeping track, and we have a few winners. Surprisingly, a lot of people got very close to getting 100%, but at the end of it, only 2 people got all the questions right. Not to worry though, even if you didn't get all of them right, you may be in the running for a prize. So, starting from the bottom, in 5th place, we have Jin, Jin, with a score of 30,480. 4th place is Chris with 31,070. 3rd place is him, HMM, with 31,630. And our 2 people with 100% accuracy. In 2nd place is Arnob, Arnob, with a score of 35,910. And in 1st place is Tony with a score of 37,220. So we'll get your prizes out to you guys pretty soon. For everyone else, feel free to stay in this room until about 8 just to hang around and network if you want. And feel free to try the quiz as well to try and get that perfect score. Other than that, thanks so much for coming along. If you have any other questions, feel free to message one of the MSPs on Discord. Join our follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well, and keep an eye out for more information regarding phase 1 and phase 2, and phase 3, of course. Thank you, guys.